Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Ken Burke, and it's an honor to be spending the next minutes with you to share an amazing presentation on this spectacular stem cell reactivation patch that's changing lives around the world. And it changed my life, my wife's life, and many of our family and friends' lives. And I'm going to share my story with you in just a little bit. But what we want to do is give you an insight to what this is so you can best decide for yourself and for yourself what you'd like to do with this. And so at the end of the presentation, I'm going to screen share here shortly with you. You'll be able to determine if you are one of three people. Three, you like what you see, but you want to do more research. Totally get that. Or you're a two, you like what you see, and you want to try getting some of these patches on you and your family and friends. Great, you can do that too. Or you're one, you're ready to launch. Like I was when I saw this technology, and I just believe this is something that my family and friends needed. And that's what got us started. And so let the person you know who invited you, which one you are at the end of the presentation, get back with them and they'll help you on whatever decision you so decide to make. All righty. So without any further ado, let me go ahead and share my screen with you and we'll go from there. So the question is, have you been patched yet? And if you haven't, do get back with the person who invited you and make sure you do get patched, because what's going to happen is your body's going to elevate, activate, and regenerate its cells inside of itself, particularly the stem cells, the holy grail of healing. And it is spectacular. And what we like to do first is we want to give credit where credit is due. And we like to talk about this gentleman right here, David Schmidt. He is the CEO and the inventor of this amazing technology. And David actually started 21 years ago with the Navy SEALs. They hired him to figure out a way to keep these people awake underneath the water in these specialized submarines at least 18 to 36 hours without having to give them amphetamines. Well, David is a great man of faith and a scientist, interesting, and I believe God gave him insight on how he could create a two-patch system that would leverage the fat cells in the body to give them energy, and it worked. That led to the Berkeley swim team finding out about this, which then led to Michael Phelps actually wearing this technology during the Olympics back in the day. This is Olympic approved technology. It's that safe. So from great grandmothers to grandbabies and all points in between, anybody can wear this patch. And by the FDA, we're defined as a wellness patch. And so there's no side effects, unlike medication. No side effects from light therapy. There's no contraindication. Any kind of medication you may be on, no worries. You can wear the patch. Now, your doctor is going to help prescribe you and things that they need to do. We're not doctors. We're just excited people who've seen amazing things with this patch. And the patch itself, it's not healing you. And it's the body that heals itself. But this patch gives you the ability to be healed like never before from what we've seen. Now, going back to David Schmidt and having invented this two-patch energy system, he got notoriety back then, and then he started creating other patches. But then in 2008, he turned his attention to stem cells. And over 10 years and 80 clinical trials, he finally figured this patch out, got it patented in 2020, and the company then launched like a rocket. At the time, the company was doing about 20 million a year with these other patches. So over a 15-year period, and boom, this patch hits the market, no advertising, just word of mouth. And at the time, they're doing about 20 million. Well, they begin to rocket to 85 million and beyond. Last year, they did 600 million, which means they should hit $1 billion this year in just 5 years from 20 million, thanks to this special little technology. And so it is amazing. And so it's been a blessing. And what I want to do is I want to show you this patent because this is really important. Because no one in the world has this technology. This is not a Me Too product. So we've got the cookie, if you will. And this patent is here in the United States patented to 2040, and there's a global patent on it as well. And the company now has expanded to about 80 countries, which is just amazing. But let's take a look at this patent, this 31-page patent, one of the excerpts in it. And remember, in order to get a patent, you got to do what it says it's going to do. And look at this thing. Look at what this thing is doing. It's amazing. It says, as a result of elevating this copper peptide, it's going to activate stem cells. It's going to improve energy. It's going to elevate antioxidants. It's going to reduce inflammation, manage pain, improve stamina, elevate collagen production, and improve wound healing, just to name a few. And so, and we've seen way more than this over the past 2.5 years since we've been wearing this patch and sharing this patch. It's been spectacular. So, and here's the story. The very first cell you and I were in the womb was a stem cell, and that cell then morphed into every cell we now are. But then you're given a reserve of stem cells for healing, repair, and restoration throughout the entire body, in your brain, in your bones, in your organs, ligaments, everywhere. Guess what, though? By the time you're 30, that reserve of stem cells meant for healing, repair, and restoration is now dormant. And also remember, a stem cell can change into any cell the brain tells it. That's the power of a stem cell. That's why it's the holy grail of healing. Well, by the time you're 60, 90% of those stem cells are now dormant. As we know, the aging process is sitting in. We can see it. It takes longer to heal. We're aging faster. And until now, until this amazing patch, which actually turns on those dormant stem cells using light in the body. And here's how this thing works. It is a proprietary form of phototherapy. It's not light coming from the sun that elevates vitamin D or light in the room that you may be in. No, this is your light. You actually emit light 24/7, infrared light. We all walk around emitting infrared light all the time. We just can't see it. Well, that light has a mathematical frequency that bounces off this patch that I'm wearing here. You can wear it anywhere in the body. And so what's inside this patch is sealed patch is a lattice work of amino acids and microscopic nanocrystals of salt and sugar from organic plants that are arrayed in such a way to emit a frequency that connects with the frequency of light. That elevates the peptide. The brain says, thank you very much, starts reactivating dormant stem cells. It is fascinating. So guess what? It's light therapy. We're harnessing the power of the light already inside of ourselves. Isn't that amazing? And so it's not transdermal. Nothing's going into the body, right? There's no drugs, no chemicals, no stimulants, and it's not invasive. I'm not injecting stem cells back into my own body, which typically are not I can't even pronounce the word because I'm not a doctor, but it's a term used for a stem cell that can morph into any cell. Usually those stem cells don't have that power that you're injecting back into you, where here your own stem cells being turned back on do. And so it's spectacular. And here's some things you can expect. Increased strength. Are you concerned about getting older and maybe you find yourself getting weaker? Well, it's important because in your muscle is mitochondria, and muscle is medicine as we get older, and this is going to help bring repair to that regard. Reduce inflammation. Anything with the word itis behind it is thanks to inflammation. Tendonitis, arthritis, what itis may be ailing you? Well, we have a patch that may be able to help you. Increase stamina, energy, vitality, mental clarity, just the ability to be able to think and reason and begin to remember again and have brain fog go away and just feel better during the day. Restored muscle, skeletal condition in your bones, because you have more collagen in your bones than you do calcium, and this is going to increase that production. So your bone density is going to get better. Improvement in sleep. So many of us are so thankful that we get to sleep way better now. We dream more vividly, which is the acid test to a deep REM, and we just feel better when we get up in the morning. Improved skin appearance. Your skin's become more supple. And here's another session that was provided with a woman of 77 years of age. On the left, her brain is inflamed. And so she's got lack of brain coherence. Well, just 3 weeks on the patch, bam, her brain is now back to a normal state, got her brain coherence back. And then after that, 3 weeks after that, her brain is sustained. Then now listen, if you have inflammation happening in your brain, you believe it or not, it's all throughout your body. It's not just isolated. And so what a blessing. And also additionally, within the first few days, your genes are going to reset to a younger state, separate from your stem cells, right? And so about a third of them, to be a matter of fact. And resveratrol and red wine got notoriety because back in the day, it reset 2 of your genes as being, oh, red wine's healthy because it has resveratrol. Well, this resets 4,000 in just a matter of a couple of days. Within 6 weeks, as I mentioned, the brain becomes balanced. Within 3 months, the collagen in your body is refreshing. So your skin, your hair, your nails, your skin becomes more supple, less wrinkled. Your hair begins to grow thicker, faster. I used to have to get my hair cut every 4 to 5 weeks. Now it's every about 2.5 weeks. And my fingernails grow thicker, faster, longer now. And within 6 months, your cardiovascular reverses in age by about 8 years. So that means every 6 to 8 weeks, your cardiovascular, depending on your age, is being restored and repaired to a 2-year younger state. Number one killer of Americans today is heart disease. So we begin to aid in nipping some of that in the bud for our family and friends. I had a friend of mine that had a stretched aorta. Actually, he got hit by a car. He was okay. He was on his bike. And but the hospital, when he was in, they gave him a full body scan and came back, oh, Mitch, you have a stretched aorta. You need to be back here in less than 12 weeks because we're going to give you bypass surgery. And so he comes back having worn the patch, not thinking about his heart. And they said, well, we can't explain this, but your heart's good. No need for surgery. Fascinating. We've seen so many testimonies with this amazing technology. Now, here's how you wear the patch. You wear it 12 hours on, 12 hours off. You can wear it anywhere in the body. When they tested it, though, they tested it in two places independently at two different times, 2 inches below the belly button and then 2 inches behind the back of the neck on that C7 area in order to get the patent. But because you have light throughout the whole body, you can wear the patch anywhere on the body. The key is just wear it 12 hours on and then throw it away. And throw it 12 hours on. At the end of 12 hours, take it off, throw it away, and then let your body rest, rejuvenate, repair, and restore itself for the next 12 hours, and then put another one back on. So it's 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Put it next to your toothbrush in the morning, right? As a reminder, slap it on after dinner, take it off, throw it away, rinse and repeat. Pretty easy. The key is drink water, a lot of water, and so they say, you should drink half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 130 pounds, drink 65 ounces. Well, that's half a gallon, right? So you should be drinking at least a half a gallon of water or more throughout the day. And this is going to help the restoration process because now the body is energized and repairing, and it's going to need that additional water in order to optimize the healing state. And the key is put some electrolytes in it. The body runs on electricity. And if you just drink water all the time, with without with electrolytes, you're really going to flush some of it out, and you need electrolytes. Like a Baja Gold is a great salt that you can put quarter teaspoon in half a gallon. It's going to give you all the trace minerals you need and electrolytes you need. You won't even taste it, but that will help. And you go from there. And you only need one patch. And remember, it's the body doing the healing, not the patch. The patch just triggers the body to do that. So you can see this is an amazing, simple technology. And, it's a sticker, but yet how profound. I mean, how profound based on what you just saw in these clinical trials sitting inside this patent and what we've seen. And just to kind of give you our story, my wife and I, 2.5 years ago, got introduced to this amazing technology. A dear friend of ours, Joyce Johnson, she's a retired IRS agent and a CPA. She was in a car accident back in 2019. They had to put 4 titanium discs in her neck. And ever since then, her life was not right. She had throat swallowing issues. She had just physical pain issues. I mean, think about that. That's pretty crazy. My wife had drive her places at times just to help her. And we remember the amount of pain she was in and a lot of discomfort. And she called us up one day and said, listen, I have no more pain. I'm feeling great. And my sister, who also has severe bone-on-bone knee pain, is going to need knee surgery, knee replacement, and has severe migraines. Her pain's gone. Her migraines are gone too. And I said, hey, let me take a look at this patch. I took a look at it on a link I'm going to show you here in a minute. And I said, this is fascinating. We have dormant stem cells. I never knew that. I can put a sticker on. I'm going to turn back on. It sounds kind of crazy, but I trusted her. I believed Joyce. We've known Joyce for 15 years. We saw her. And I was like, okay, I believe you. And what we did is we bought the biggest batches of stuff we could get. And we were very busy at the time, working basically full time, had no time for anything else. But when we saw this, we gained a belief, and belief makes room for itself. And I believe my family and my friends, I believe they needed to wear this technology. And that's the first people I called. And I didn't call them because I wanted to sell them something. I called because I believed I had found something and they need to wear it. And so within short order of time, my wife, who had hot flashes, 10 to 20 a day, within 21 days, that basically stopped. She also had a fight or flight syndrome that was going on that we didn't realize was tied to menopause and menopausal anxiety. Didn't know that's what it was at the time. And that went away, that wonderful state. I call this thing a happy patch, And then I remember months later, probably 5, 6 months later, I asked her, I said, Dinah, whatever happened to that hip pain that you used to complain at night about? She had given birth to 5 children. We have 5 wonderful children. They're grown out the door. 4 are married. Now we have 10 grandbabies. Thank God for the past because we have more energy. I'll be 60 next month. And I promise you, I feel way younger. And it's easy for me to get on the floor with them and play with them. And we travel and put luggage over up overhead. And I'll do it and help other people too. And I'm a little guy. I'm only 5.5 feet tall, And so, but I'm so thankful for the quality of life I have. And for me, 2.5 weeks in, my brain came into balance. I didn't know it was out of balance. I didn't know how spun up I was for 10 years running my advertising company. And under extreme stress. And that level went from about up here down to about 15%. And I didn't know what living in the present was until this patch came. And I didn't know that was going to even happen for me. And now I get to be present with my grandbabies. I get to be present when I'm on vacation, where before when I was on a cruise or traveling, I wasn't there. I was spun up thinking about work, the office, what have you. And I thank the Lord for this amazing gift that I've gotten back. Because listen, I already was pretty healthy, so I really bought this for everybody else. I already do intermittent fasting last several years. I go to CrossFit. I have a pretty clean diet. I do eat too much sugar. I'm working on that. But, so I was pretty healthy. And I didn't realize that this was going to give me my life back in relation to area of stress. What a blessing. And so my dad had scarred lungs from COVID. He didn't before. Now he needed a walker. He was 280 pounds, one kidney, 12 medications. I said, Dad, you need to wear this sticker. 5 weeks in, he calls me, Ken, I can breathe again. Buy me a plane ticket, go see Brittany, our daughter, his granddaughter in Louisiana with the great grandbabies. He's in Tampa. I'm like, I'm not buying you anything. You can't walk 20 feet with your walker. 6 weeks later, he's in an Uber to Tampa International Airport, spends a week to visit Brittany and the great grandbabies. His lungs healed. That blew my mind. We were so excited. And so we began to see things like this. Friends of mine with frozen shoulder, he couldn't golf with his daughter for 15 months. She had a golf scholarship. That was his daddy-daughter date time. 14 months, no time. 5 days in, he calls me, Ken, thank you. I'm back on the golf course with my daughter. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And so we can't claim anything. We just seen a lot of things, and it's really spectacular. And so I hope right now, as you're thinking about this, that not only are you thinking about you and what this might be able to do for you if you haven't worn this technology yet, but you're thinking about the people you love and care about the most. Because here's the deal. Everybody on the planet has stem cells and they're all going dormant. And no one in the world has this technology. And we do. This patch was basically, if you go to Starbucks right now, I'll get into the pricing, and you look at the cheapest drink menu, the cheapest drink on the menu, this is cheaper than that or less. And so it is amazing that we have this affordable, for the masses, gift of hope, particularly for people that we love and care about. So, and this is really where this thing starts. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kind of turn the corner. I'm going to get into how much the patch is and how this company financially rewards those who decide to share it. You don't have to decide to share anything. You can simply get this patch at a wholesale rate and wear it like a customer, and you're good. So that's fine. But should you decide to share it, and what happens, most people organically start sharing it because they're excited about what's happening for them and they care about their family and loved ones, their friends, and they're going to tell them. Because guess what? If you go see a great movie, what do? You go back to the office the next day and tell everybody, or you go to a brand new restaurant, like, oh my gosh, it was awesome. What do? You tell everybody. Well, guess what happens when you experience something like this? You just don't tell the people at the office. You call the people you love and care about the most. And that's the first people you tell, like I did. I call my kids, my grown kids, and my dad, and people at the time that were closest to us. I said, we're getting you on this patch. So, but when people as I began to share with other people, they asked, hey, Ken, tell me more information. I said, fine, take a look at this. I'm going to send you, I'll text you a link that tells you all about it. That removed the burden from me in my busy day to try to explain something or try to be a salesman. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to help them see something because I wasn't the expert. I'm an advertising guy. So I sent them this site here. This is info.com. And on that site, you have the patent, the studies, you have doctors chiming in, and you have quick little videos. I'm not a big researcher. Just show me something quick and easy, and let me see if I trust it, and I'll do a little more research. But also on this same site is you have this testimonial page, which is absolutely spectacular. Neuropathy, children, immune systems, disability, improved blood sugar levels, bladder improvement, dental improvement, asthma improvement, mental clarity, migraines, headaches. I mean, just start thinking about all the stuff that most of us at some point are going through something, because we're just getting older. Plus, living in America isn't the best place to basically be eating, right? And that's taking a toll on us. And so we have some hope. And once again, if you're going to hang your hat on something, if you're going to share something, you want to be able to share something that has opportunity with it. Well, this company, there's 561 relational selling companies in the world, like a Beachbody, Mary Kay, and what have you, right? And this is another one, but this is better than just some kind of MLM where you think that, the person at the top makes all the money and everybody else wishes they could. No, this is way different. And I'll explain that in a minute. This is something that protects our integrity. And it's really more about sharing hope and about a patch But if you're gonna get paid by a company, check this out. This company is gonna hit $1 billion this year in revenue. They take 60% of that. And that pays back to me and you. And by the way, this company for the second year straight won the Bravo Award. It is the coveted award in this industry of being the greatest growth momentum company in the industry. And so, which is spectacular. And it's not stopping. And we want to also give thanks to this couple on the left here, Steve and Gina Merritt, because they implemented a system that the company had never seen before in all their years of history from other distribution teams, if you will. They came aboard and in 23 days hit the highest rank in this company that usually took 4 years to do. And they implemented a system that others could follow. And since then, now 33 months later, over 100 people have hit the highest rank in this company. We're talking people who've never done this business before. I have a precious friend in this business now. Her name is Penny Carpenter. She lives in Texas. There's only 650 people in her town. She's 63 years old, and she has 3 precious children, grown children, and she's never succeeded in anything like this before. Well, now she hit the highest rank, and she only has 650 people in her town. It's a big ranching town. Right. And so, I mean, the #1 distributor right now makes about $500,000 a month. And that's a single mom, about 6 years of age, and you could just make $1 if you wanted. I mean, but I tend to think, listen, if other people who are not experts in this industry could do well in this industry, maybe you could too if you wanted to. And that's how I thought about for myself. And what happened for me is we began to share this. And I remember we were 90 days in and I'd enrolled a lot of people to try these patches. And I was working 60, 70, 80 hours a week. I didn't have time for a side hustle, but I had the ability to implement a belief hustle. Because after every business conversation I had with my clients or prospects or my team, I'd say, oh, by the way, you've heard about this patch, right? No, what is this? Oh, this is a stem cell reactivation patch. It works off in the body and it turns on your own dormant stem cells. Did you know you have stem cells and they're dormant? This thing's going to turn them on. And here's what's doing for my family and friends. Is this something you'd like to learn more about for you? And that's pretty much what I would say. I'd send that link and say, listen, there's a great Zoom going on, like one tonight, and there was 2 last night. There's going to be 2 tomorrow. I mean, there's Zooms going on all the time. And I just point eyeballs to Zooms. And as people got interested, got excited, started purchasing, well, guess what? The company takes that 60% of that revenue, they push it back to me and you. And I remember we went on, my wife and I, 90 days in, we went on a cruise for 2 weeks to Hawaii and Bora Bora, away from all of civilization. And we came back $2,500 richer. I'm like, hold on a second. I did not put my foot on the gas to do this, but thanks to word of mouth and this thing spreading with non-salespeople, but people who are caring about their family and friends, wanting them to share this with them, get them on it, and those sales being made from it, we began to make money. As that began to expand, it kept on growing. And it was thankfully because we were following a system that Steve and Gina Merritt implemented and that a lot of us are all following. And we're all volunteers. Like no one is telling us to punch a time clock, what to do. We do what we want, but we love the system. And so we all are willingly following the system and helping each other in it. And that makes it easier for all of us to succeed more rapidly. And that means we're going to get more patches on more people, see more miracles, bring more hope. And God really gets greater glory. And your bank account rises too. And within 12 months, we hit the highest rank in this business while working full time. And we say it's God, family, work, and then this. And then 11 months after that, we were making 4 times what we were paying ourselves in our full-time positions with our company and such. And at that point, God gave us the ability to basically be set free. And I tell you, there is nothing better than to be in a position in life where now you have enough money coming in, where you have this thing called time I never had before. And that's probably one of my biggest personal desires for you on this call is to believe that just what's the chance that maybe you might be able to get more time if you partner with us on sharing this patch with others. Keep the most important things first in your life. Keep God first, your family, and then your work. Keep doing those things. But partner with us on taking a look at this and wear it, become a believer in it, and then partner in how we do what we do. And it will make it easier for you to be able to get more patches on people and begin to experience some financial blessing that is residual. So while you're still working, you will be able to potentially find money getting bigger and potentially maybe surpass your own full-time job money like it did for me. And I just kept working. And until this thing kept going, until it was 4 times that we were paying ourselves, I said, okay, we have an option. And I have another friend I enrolled in this, and within 12 months, he was able to fire his job. He was doing very well in corporate America, but his income passed it, and he was under so much pressure, and it set him free. And he gets to live a better day now. So that may or may not be you, but if it is, there is an option potentially for you. And thanks because this couple here and the team that we have now, our team now, believe it or not, started with 2 people. You're looking at them, Steve and Gina Merritt, 33 months ago. Well, now there's over 400,000, and we expect to have 1 million by year end. It's the fastest growing team in the history of this company, one of the fastest growing teams in the world. And that's another amazing thing that you get to be part of. And so these things I just mentioned here are precious to all of us. Family, right? Time, something that money can't even purchase really within reason. Freedom. I was looking for freedom. And I praise God that we now have it. Security, travel. We do so much traveling. It's a blessing. And one of the amazing ways this company pays is they pay with rewarding trips. I mean, we just got back from Punta Mita. Never heard of the place, but it's a beautiful 5-star all-inclusive resort on the Pacific coast of Mexico. It was gorgeous, and it was amazing to be there and to be with other people that were winning as well. And then not too long ago, we were on an 8-day cruise. They flew us to Italy, got on a ship there out of Venice, and then that went to Greece, Santorini, Mykonos, and then to Croatia. Absolutely spectacular. All paid for. A great way to make money is to have someone else pay for a wonderful vacation. And you know what the best part of these trips is you're on board with other people who have high integrity. They care about people. They've got a great work ethic, and they have a vision of hope for the future. And it's wonderful. When I went to corporate events, I wasn't around a lot of people like that. Where here, like they're all like that. And it's such a blessing for quality of life. So, and here's how this thing starts. It starts with you and 4 people that you love and care about. Not so much you want to go build a business with, but the people that you know could be, if you have a parent who's still alive or both of them, you're probably really thinking right now, they need to be on this patch. It could be your best friend. It could be a sibling of yours. It could be one of your children. It could be a neighbor, but if you start with 4 people on this patch and you as well, this opens you up to this position called manager. You're not going to manage anything. It's just what they call it. And that begins opening up to make up to $1,500 a week. Not at that moment, but it's the residual opportunity that's going to begin to build. And what you're doing is you're starting with 2 friends and family on the left, 2 friends and family on the right. You're starting a left and right team. That's going to become a word of mouth team. And the structure is called a binary, which is 2. And this beautiful structure, which is blessed by the FTC, enables people that come on after you, though they're below you, to potentially make more money than you. So it rewards those who are actually doing something in it versus it's the person at the top making all the money. Plus, it keeps the company financially strong. So it's important. And so now you have the opportunity to build a left and right team, starting with 2 friends on the left, 2 friends on the right. And then what happens after that? Well, you want to go help them who get excited, get their 2 friends on left, 2 friends right, and on both sides, and then replicate that 4-person play over and over and over. And as that gets bigger, obviously your team commission is going to get bigger, and that can go all the way up to hit the cap of $25,000 a week. I know that sounds like a lot of money, but for some people like me, I needed to hear that number. And there are people out there that you're going to come across. If it's a big number for you, it's not for others. It's not a comparison. It's just where people are at in life kind of thing, right? But what would $200 a week do for you right now? What would $500 a week potentially do for you? What happens if you could get another 1,000 a month? And then as you continue to grow, it becomes 1,000 a week. And then as that continues to grow, it becomes 1,000 a day. And we saw this. And so, and experienced this. And I'm like, wow, this is the power of word of mouth. It is huge. It's bigger than me or you. We couldn't pull this off. But this structure affords it if you plug in with it. And like I said, you don't have to. You can simply just wear this patch. But if you decide to share it, I'm giving you some hope here as well, too. Here's another thing. Here's the unlimited way, because what I showed you was just the limit of $25,000 a week, if that wasn't enough. No, it sounds crazy, but yeah, it is. This is the unlimited income earning potential right here. And the company wants to reward you for bringing people on who are doing something. So you bring on a friend, well, they're going to give you a 25% bonus, whatever they're making each week. That friend brings on somebody, they call that your second generation. You're going to get 20% of where that person's making on top of whatever they're making as a bonus. That second generation person brings somebody on. You may not know who they are, but the company's going to count it towards you as your third generation. Well, you're going to get 20% of where they're making for the week. And you're not limited to how many people you can enroll. We say 20 left, 20 right. Try to do it in 90 days, right? And you could take 9 months, 9 days. You can do whatever you want. There's no obligation. That's just a guideline we love to share. And but guess what? Then those people that begin to do something, you're getting paid off that second generation then, and then down that third generation too. And so you can begin to put two and two together. That it's pretty amazing the kind of money that could be made in this opportunity while you're still working your full-time thing. It's amazing. And how simple is it to start? Well, it's right here, right? So this envelope is called a sleeve, and it has 30 patches inside of it. The retail rate on this is $149 for the month. And I told my dad and my mother-in-law and my kids, listen, there's no need for you to spend $149 when you can get this thing wholesale and just wear it at wholesale. Don't just sell nothing. And here's how this works. If you do, you can buy a 3-pack, a 6-pack, or a 20-pack of this 1 month supply. It's a 30-day supply for one person. And so you have 30 of these patches inside of there, and that's one person's supply for 1 month. And you can buy a 3-pack, which would be like a 90-day supply for somebody. And I have to share, this is so important. What have you seen now, 2.5 years into this, is I tell people, listen, if you're going to put this on, you need to wear it for a minimum 90 days. I'm not saying it's going to take 90 days for you to see something, but you understand this is your body optimizing amazing healing. This is not an aspirin. This is not a get rich quick or some quick theme, healthy magic pill. It's actually, to me, it's a miraculous patch. And but give it 90 days so you can get the collagen in your body refreshing, right? And get your cardiovascular within 8 weeks becoming 2 years younger, and get the left and right lobe of your brain balancing within 4 to 6 weeks so your sleep, your energy, your focus is better. And then the anomalies of back pain and joint pain, they begin to dissipate away in that 90-day time frame. And so give yourself that. Now, the company does give you a 30-day back money guarantee. So at day 29, you're not loving it, then send whatever you got left back. They'll give you all your money back. All right. So, but I tell people, don't waste your time with that. Do yourself a solid, give yourself at least 90 days, because 97% of those who wear this technology worldwide, now in 80 countries, see results in that time frame. And so, and what's really interesting is 1 in 5 to 1 in 8 are what I call a one patch wonder. And I get the most, I patch everybody. And when I'm about, I could be at at the shopping, or I pray for divine appointments. And it's amazing. Sometimes people will I'll bump into that I don't even know. And I'll say, oh, by the way, in my conversation, you've heard about this patch, right? Boom, there we go. And, next thing I'm putting a patch on them, and, and 1 in 5 to 1 in 8 are calling me next day, Ken, you're not going to believe this, right? And so, and it's been awesome. And just the other day, I did this with a friend, and not a friend, but someone I met at a networking function for the first time, shared the patch with him. He calls the next morning, Ken, you're not going to believe this. I had a botched knee surgery 6 months ago. Every morning I get up, my knee is stiff. It takes me a while just to get to the restroom. Plus, my knee during the day is popping. They're going to have to do more surgery on it again. But I got it this morning, and I had no pain. And I basically just walked right to the bathroom, and I stopped myself and said, hold on, what the heck just happened? We see this stuff like this like all the time. And so it's amazing that, that we do have these one patch wonders. My daughter was one, but me, I wasn't, my wife wasn't. So it's fun to share the patch is my point. And you want to wear it long enough to be able to get it done. And you can sample this thing, get a 90-day supply for $295, right? That's like 98, 99 bucks, a month, if you will. And then, and that's going to limit you, by the way, to $100 a week on the comp plan. But if you buy a 6 or 20 pack here in the middle, that opens up the comp plan. And that's now going to give you enough to be able to begin to wear it and begin to share it, so you can get started with it. And so my wife and I, we bought that 20 pack because I believe in the law of abundance, and I believe I want to get this out to my family and friends. Now, I wasn't going to give a whole one of these to anybody. What I did is I got them on a Zoom like this. I shared my site, then got them on a Zoom like this, let them make a decision. And when they want to make a purchase, then what I would do is I would then front them one of these so they can begin wearing it right away that day. And then when they got theirs in the mailbox, days later, now they could then take a new one out of that and replace mine back. So I give them a whole one, I get a whole one back. But in the meantime, now they could start wearing it. And many times we see people get results before they even get theirs in the mailbox. And then they want to call their family and friends, say, listen, I got something for you. We got to talk. We got to talk, and so it's pretty cool. And like with the law of abundance, he who scatters bountifully is going to reap bountifully. So we built a big list, started contacting people, started sharing this. People started enrolling, and we were placing, replacing, and the miracles came faster that way. And that's why that 20 pack was so important to us. And now, if we'd been really hung on a budget, then we would have gotten the 6-pack for only $535. That gets it down to $89 each, and one for me, one for my wife, for to start the business with. And but you can only buy these one time. You don't do these every month. That's one and done. That's it. You can't do it again, and you can upgrade to the next level, but that's it. And then thereafter, you're on a monthly maintenance of usually two, one for me, one for you, if it's my wife, that is, and that starts the month later. And that's that 2-sleep monthly subscription. Now, if you're going to get paid in this business, you got to be on a 2-sleep monthly subscription, and if you're not going to pay it anyways, you're going to want to be on a 2-sleep monthly subscription because you and your wife want to be, getting into your 90-day runway with this thing. You could be on a 1-sleep monthly subscription, and that's going to hold basically points from a team being built underneath you, because you do go on a left or a right side of whoever signs you up on their team, and everybody on that right or left side that you're in with, next time they sign somebody up, by default, the computer puts them below you, and you get credit towards that. That's going to turn to money and time, and that you can learn about that later. But there's a benefit to being on a 1-sleep monthly maintenance that holds those points that will turn to dollars. They don't flush. And so, but like I said, we can talk more about that later. I just want to be able to show you how you can quickly get started on either a 3, 6, or 20 pack for either $295, $535, or $1750 one time. And I don't know, as a business owner, where in heaven's name I could get into a business that can pay me 7 figures, because that's where we're at now, which is insane to think about, for $535 or for $1,750. I mean, if you're going to be, if you're a realtor, you know how much money you got to spend to hold your license, to go to training. It's amazing, or if you've started a business before, darn well it costs you a lot more than just a few $100 and a couple $100 a month, and yeah, it's an amazing opportunity. So I hope that this gives you some insight for what you'd like to do, how you'd like to get started, and do get back with the person who invited you and let them know what you'd like to do. And then they'll help you start on the next steps, get you connected into our team, get you and open up just all the other opportunity of how we have a huge support system that makes it super easy for you to be blessed by being a blessing to others. And so it's been an honor to share this time with you. And so once again, do get back with the person who invited you. Let them know which one you are. You're that 3, 2, or 1, and go from there. Alrighty, well, blessings, everybody. It's been an honor. Have a blessed night.